All right, this fire's going pretty good here. We're doing a burn. We got the Kubota KX080 excavator. Grant's up here helping me out. He's gonna be feeding this fire behind me with that skid steer. He's got a pile of brush down there. But also, what I want to try to get done today is there's a ridge that goes down this way. It's really brushed in. And my plan is to use the excavator with that digging bucket and just plow my way through there as I go down the ridge, putting brush and stuff behind me, and Grant can come down with that grapple and grab those piles that I make and bring them on up here to the fire. All right, there's the fire up there, and thought I'd walk you down in here to give you a little preview of what we're up against. So this ridge is pretty shallow sloping. It's not too steep, but it gets super steep down off of that side. And off to the right over there, we have some down brush that's already really dry. This would be perfect for the fire. Let's take a little walk down through here. I'll show you what we're up against. You can see we come down, there's some firs we'll have to limb up. I don't really want to just tear into that with the excavator, but all these little fir trees, I'm going to take these guys out, and some of this manzanita that's just right in the path. But this goes about another 100 feet. It's not a super big project, but still it's going to be a big improvement here for the ranch. So let's get after it. nice about using this excavator bucket as opposed to what I have been using on other videos. If you haven't been watching, I've been doing a lot of land clearing with the GMT grapple saw. It's like a felling head, mini felling head for a small excavator like this. But you know, you're not really getting the roots out, you're leaving a little stump behind, so this is actually kind of nice for small stuff. You can just kind of reach around it, pull it towards you, and if you miss the stump, you can go back and grab it. down here close to the end. Getting into this opening right here. It's just some manzanita left mostly.
almost down to the last of it here. Grant's got a big load heading up the hill. Got a little bit more manzanita over there. But we're to the end here. This really drops off pretty steep. And we've already cleared that hillside below me here. And just working on getting this fir tree out of here. A couple more manzanita bushes. And we're gonna have this thing wrapped up. this canopy of this oak tree here. Underneath the root, using the back of my bucket as a leverage point. Pry it up out of there. It's starting to get a little slippery for the skid steer, but we got it done just in the nick of time. I got this last grab of brush debris and I'm heading up the mountain. Bite of brush all the way up to the burn pile, and it's just about calling it a day. And then I'll walk down here and show you what this looks like. Alright, that's what's left of the burn right there. All that burnt that other pile that was down there. Just went up and threw it on this. And
This is the green material for this time next year, roughly. Come through and burn this. It's a pretty good accumulation of material for a day's work. So let's walk down the road, show you what that looks like. Coming up out of here, you can kind of see my tracks. I was slipping and sliding all over the place. Kind of just barely made it out of here. Whoa, almost fell just then. Yeah, very slippery. We just got enough rain where it's just like slippery butter right now up here. I'll come back and clean up these little trees with the chainsaw, but so this is probably 30 feet across, the clearing that we made here. A little bit more in some areas. It was just all manzanita here. And I went off this edge right here and cleared it so we could see that lower road down there. So it's kind of nice. And there was just a bunch of undergrowth, small madrone, some firs, more manzanita. Cleared all that out so you can see right into the forest here. And it just drops pretty steep off this hill. And that's a brush pile from this road clearing work we did. But yeah, that's it. What do you think, Bowie? Think we did good, buddy? Huh? So anyways, thanks for hanging with me today. Hope you enjoyed watching this video on clearing the ridge. You guys be safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Over and out.